All right, welcome Community Groups 2023. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm sitting here with my beautiful wife of 21 years almost. Next week, November 9th, will be 21 years together.
It's a long time.
Yep. Our relationship is legal, 21 years old. And
Full-grown adult.
and so that means we're very old, but yet we have a 2-year-old. So we're getting ready to hear from her. I asked her to come in and share a testimony about something that she's been going through these past few years and that God's been doing in her life. And so here she is.
Can you see me? Because, I'm so short. I hide behind the microphone. Oh,
The seat goes higher if you want.
Oh, yeah, you can pump me up. Before I start, I want to say forgive me because my voice is a little scratchy this morning. Just woke up, got my coffee. Not just woke up. It's a little later than that. But my voice is scratchy because we had an amazing service yesterday. The Lord was really moving, and there was a lot of praising and a lot of shouting. And shameless plug, if you missed it, join us for in-person service. And come and see what God is doing because God is really moving right now. And so, yeah, and I'm full of congestion because we had an awesome time at the farm with ESM for their Sunday Fun Day. But, yeah, I know some of my friends are you're hearing this for the millionth time, and you're probably sick of hearing about me. But there's some of you that don't know, and I just want to talk about how good God has been and how good he's been in our life. And time again, he keeps proving himself. Not that he needs to, but for us humans, we need it, because even Peter denied him and we fail to remember his goodness and we fail to remember what he can do and who he is. And so he continues to show me his love and his goodness throughout my life. And so what I'm going through right now is I'm just finishing up 5 years of college. I started college in my late 30s, 38, and now I'm 43. Oh my gosh, why am I telling my age? Yeah. Anyway. And it's been a long road, and
some unforeseen road bumps along the way.
Unimaginable things that I've been through in just these last 5 years, and it's crazy that it was all during this time, and that I couldn't do it in my own strength. And but it wasn't because it was something that I wanted to do. It's something I was called to do. About 5 years ago, I was working on a project for the church, and I even remember exactly where I was and hearing the Lord tell me and reminding me of a lost passion, a passion that I put away, and I even wrote a blog about it, and I used the imagery of a closet. I grew up loving art and creating art from a very young age. And in high school, we got computers. Yeah, I told my age, and so now I'm definitely aging myself. When the computers were new, and it was super frustrating back then, and it's so much easier now. But
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, Carmen Sandiego, loved it. But I love creating graphics, and oh my gosh, I did the paint program, it was so basic, not even what Photoshop is today. But anyway, I started my passion, and but during those same times, in grade school, being told, laughed at by a teacher because she didn't believe that I was having struggles in school. And so because of that, she didn't necessarily say that you're not smart, but because of that reaction where she laughed at me, I felt not smart. Mm-hmm. And school was hard for me, and I went through a divorce, and so I just stopped altogether. I just didn't want to do it. Yeah, I didn't want to do school. I would sleep. I would daydream. Like when it was time for homework, I would fall asleep. I wouldn't do homework. All through high school, I'm like, how does a child get through high school and not do homework? Like I was about to graduate and I wouldn't do any big projects. My brain would just, I don't know if it was because of the trauma that I would just blank out and not want to use my brain. And Brent joking, lovingly jokes and says that I was mentally lazy because my capacity was there. God had given me this beautiful brain. I just didn't want to use it because of my trauma, because of my past hurts and these labels. In high school, my art teacher, or I was in actually a special program for graphic design in high school, and she told me, you'll never be a graphic designer.
So from a very young age, you had this identity put on you by others of you're not smart and you're not a good artist, and so.
And I didn't have anyone pushing me and saying, you can do it. You are smart.
And so when I met Jen, I was 19, she was 20. She dropped out of high school 2 weeks before graduating high school, and so just continued this stigma of I can't do it.
Yeah, and I got a job, and because the job said they needed a high school diploma or GED on record, that I had to go do it. They forced me because I wasn't going to do it. It wasn't important to me. There was nobody in my life telling me, hey, you need to think about your future. I was living on my own at 17, you know, and that's a baby. They need direction. And I didn't have the Lord's direction, and I didn't have, anyone guiding me. But I luckily had, I worked for people who, told me, hey, this is important for your future. You need to go do it. So they drove me there. I got my GD. And that was a moment in my life where I was super proud. I was super proud of myself because I never accomplished anything, and I quit everything I did. And I never thought I could do it. And that's why even, too, up into the end of college, I still had this, like, looming fear before I was delivered from some stuff, those mindsets and those old word curses. I still thought I was going to fail, and I thought I wasn't going to do it. I thought why I get so emotional about my graduation is because I never saw it possible. But that's what my testimony is in my own strength, these things might not be possible because I will be stifled in my own human abilities. But with God's strength, I can do it. And yeah, he's the one who reminded me of this passion that you love art, you should do this. And then with my husband backing me up and being my support system and saying, hey, I know you're smart and I know you can do this. You should go to college. And I was like, that seemed like mind blown, like, what? No. College?
And at the time, we had two older girls, and they were mature and didn't really need that kind of attention, so you could devote your time to that. And seemed like it was going to be pretty smooth, and then.
But I was working at the same time. I was doing ministry at the same time. And then pandemic hit. I did college during the pandemic, which was probably easier because it was all remote anyways. I did it online. But I got pregnant. And so I had to go through all of that, taking care of the home, doing ministry, through a rough pregnancy because at my age, like it's tough. And then not to make things even more complicated, shortly after giving birth, I almost died. I hemorrhaged. And I was still doing schoolwork this entire time. I think it would be funny to go like back and record like me getting my blood drawn because I was anemic, but still like having to get my discussions done at the same time, And I was pumping and breastfeeding, and I did document. I took pictures because to me that was like a monumental thing in my life, a milestone that needed to be celebrated is breastfeeding a baby and doing schoolwork and doing all the things, and things that I'm incapable of doing on my own. Like I'm like David, like there's this giant in front of me, and God just said, "You can do it. You're anointed. You're appointed for this time, and this is your time." And you know, he got me through it.
I don't think you ever would have started if you saw Caleb coming, but this was all
Oh
like
yeah.
this BC before Caleb, and
Oh
so
yeah.
we you jumped into it thinking, all right, I can do this, and then Caleb came
And I
along
had
in
to
the
keep.
middle.
I had to still do it. And some of you might think this is not a big deal, but moms out there know how hard breastfeeding is. And
Full-time job.
yeah,
8 hours a
I
day
have
or
no
something.
idea, and how complicated and how hard and how painful it is. And so I did it through that. Um, and
Yeah.
Well, I'm here now, and it's been 5 years. It was a long time coming, but I'm about to graduate, which I never saw possible. And two, Caleb, he's my miracle baby. Like, I never saw him coming. Um, you know, he was prophesied, and I didn't believe it. And so my life, throughout my life, God is, like I said, just reminding me of his goodness and telling me he's faithful. And in our own mind, in our own human ability, we just like forget how good he is. Like, it's easy to deny how powerful he is,
Hmm.
you know?
And so you're graduating, and she's going to walk in May, and so you were living under the stigma of I'm not smart and I'm not good enough. So tell us how you've done in college. Was it a hard road for you? Did you
That was
barely,
a breeze. I just, you know.
barely make it?
Yeah.
Just C's
No,
and D's?
and it's crazy because coming from a student who didn't think they were good in school, it became very important to me. And it became very important to me to do well and get all my assignments done and get good grades. And I'm graduating with straight A's, 5 years of straight A's,
Teacher's pet.
a 4.0 GPA. I'm gonna walk with my tassels. I'm gonna graduate with honors, first generation graduate, college, university graduate, and you know, and I do
Here
it for my
comes.
I do it for my kids. I've done this.
Keeping it real.
I've done this for them. You know, I want them to see that you can do hard things, and with God, all things are possible.
You want to say hi?
Say hi. Wait to camera. He's my miracle baby. He was prophesied, and yeah. I never thought
So-
I was going to have a son. We didn't think our name would live on because he is. He's the one who will carry on the Christensen name.
Say hi.
Hi.
You don't even know, like you're on camera, but yet you still are kind of shy about it. You like
Sees
microphones.
himself.
Do you want to sing a song?
No.
You see yourself? Yeah, no.
So God has kind of re-identified you, which is something we've been talking about, like on Sundays, about coming out of old identities and lies of the enemy and coming into what God says about you in the truth of His Word. And so this is just a great example of that. And so I'm sure a lot of people that are listening have been, had false identities put on them. And maybe as she's sharing this, maybe God's speaking to you about some things that maybe He's given you dreams in the past that you've let go of, or callings, or even just giftings, or false identities that have put a ceiling over your life that He wants to tear off. So maybe you guys can discuss that. But before that, do you want to pray for people?
Yeah, definitely. Lord, right now I just want to break off any word curses or any old mindsets that people might be struggling with, and it's blocking them from what you have for them, God, the will that you have for their life, the path that you've directed for them, Lord. They've taken a side road, Lord, and they've gone their own way like I did. And you came and you reminded me of my passion and of my gifts that you gave those gifts to me, Lord. And I pray that you stir up those gifts and the ones listening, Lord. And you open up those dreams to them once again, that they're not dead, that with you and your power, you can see them through it, Lord. All the things that they thought were unimaginable can be can become imaginable with you, God. And I just thank you for what you're doing in the hearts of those that are listening, Lord. And I just pray that my words that are being spoken here today, if these words are not for them, Lord, but they would go into their surrounding community, Lord, into their friends and their family and their coworkers, Lord. And if this word is for them, that they would share it with them, Lord, and that they would speak these words of possible over their life, Lord. And they would break the word curses, Lord, off the ones that they know and they love, and they see that there is more for them. There's a greater potential that you have for them, Lord, but they are living in a life of lies that is stopping them from what you have for them. And we just thank you for what you're doing in the hearts of Encounter, Lord. You're stirring us up. You're stirring up our spirits. You're stirring up the revival spirit, Lord. I pray for the young people right now. If there are parents out there that are worried about their children, Lord, that they're speaking life over their children. They're breaking off word curses over their children, God. And I pray for those parents who've been struggling, or if you know parents that have struggled, to help encourage their children and be godly examples in their life right now, God, I pray that we lift up and we build up the godly parents, the godly fathers over the households, the godly mothers, Lord. I pray for each and every one of them right now, Lord, that we can show our kids the authenticity of a godly parent, and that God can do great things. We are the example of this next generation. We are going to raise up mighty warriors for Christ. And if they are not having that support system around them that's going to help them succeed, Lord, I pray that you would surround them with other people in their life. It takes a village, they say, Lord. And I love my village, and I am so grateful for them, Lord. If our words are falling to the ground for our children, surround them with others, Lord, that can be influential in their life, Lord. Oh, and I just thank you for these things. And I pray that the community groups have amazing conversations, Lord, and go with them throughout this week, Lord, until we meet again on Sunday. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I just love you guys. I love you, Encounter family. I love my village, like I said. And I pray that you just go out and do amazing things in your community. Have a great time together. Enjoy your time together tonight. And we'll see you back on Sunday.
All right. See you guys next time. See you in 2 weeks at community groups too.